Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's Wednesday. The surgery was Monday. Let me put this little microphone on. And so this is right now, it's about 7 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday, which puts me about 40 hours post surgery. So let me report to you the things that I'm finding significant. Number one, let's talk about swelling. They warned me that but the affected leg would swell quite a bit. So let's have you take a look. It's okay. I'm wearing boxer briefs, and you can see the right leg compare. This is the affected leg. This is the normal leg. You can see it's a bit bigger, and it's tender. It's tender where I'm poking. I get like a 0.5 out of 10 pain when I point, so that's not much pain. It's painful when you put weight on it, though. And let me pull up the briefs and show you. That's the incision site, and the bandage itself is about the length of my forefinger, which means the incision is probably 3/4 of that. So that's as much leg as you're going to see. I'm sure you're relieved to hear that. Let's see if we can adjust that a little bit. There we go. So the angle's a little bit better than my last couple of videos because I found a way. I just putting the camera on a tripod instead of having it on the laptop in my lap, so things will be a little bit better. So that's the swelling. Can I walk? Yes, I can walk inside the trailer, and generally I'll grab onto things for support because when I do put weight on it, I get this pain. There's two kinds of pain happening in my leg, and one is like it feels like muscular pain in my quadricep, right? An aching pain like a pulled muscle. And then on the right hand side, right down on the right hand side, there's a particularly painful point that when I step down, there's like a sharp pinpoint pain when I walk. And I'm not saying this isn't normal. I'm sure it's perfectly normal. It's not one of the things that I heard about, but it's not the spike on that pain is probably a 5 out of 10. So nothing really severe, but it's very noticeable and uncomfortable. Getting up and walking around is uncomfortable. You need to do a little bit of it. The doctor said in the first 72 hours, it's going to be the worst. You don't need to do much. You really don't need to be much. Get up, go to the bathroom, get up, go to the fridge. That's it. And that's pretty much all I'm doing. And you might have noticed when I panned down there, you saw these things on my leg. They're electronic, and they squeeze and release on both calves to keep the blood flow going, and that's to prevent clots, because that's the number one complication of this kind of surgery is blood clots. And I take 2 baby aspirin a day to combat that as well, because baby aspirin, 81 milligram baby aspirin, will make the blood thinner, so it makes it harder for clots to form. There's a danger of bleeding in the first day, but that didn't happen. Cheryl's been keeping a close eye on my leg and my wound, and there's no signs of any kind of bleeding. So so far everything is pretty good news. Interesting thing though with Dottie and George, I think on the last video I showed you how the first night they were sleeping right next to each other, which they never do, right beside me. They were pretty aware that something wasn't right. In particular, Dottie. George last night got back to his regular routine of jumping up on the bed and waking me up just to mess with me a couple of times in a night. That's the regular routine. Then he'll jump off. That's George. Dottie stayed pretty close to me, almost back to normal in bed, just a little closer to me than she normally is. But the big thing with Dottie is I can't walk her. So Cheryl's been walking her, and she loves Cheryl. But she really is highly resistant to leaving me and leaving the trailer. I mean, Cheryl had to use some force to get Dottie to walk out. And Dottie went a little over 24 hours without number two. And finally, she went ahead and did it last night, which was a big relief. So Dottie is still very concerned about what might be going on. And I think they pick up, they can sense the wound, I think, through their sense of smell, and they know something's not right. Something's different. So that's I think pretty normal behavior for a pet. So you can definitely expect that. Um, what else? How do I spend my time? Well, I spend my time doing videos for you. Well, let's face it, the videos are for me, but some of you like watching them. And I watch a lot of streaming TV. Yesterday was filled with making phone calls to family members and friends that wanted to know how I was doing. So I blew that all yesterday. I don't have any phone calls to make today. Um, and Cheryl comes by maybe 3 or 4 times a day. And that's another thing that it isn't that much fun is being dependent on someone else and sort of a little sense of guilt, a little bit of guilt that I feel. Like Cheryl will come in and I'll say, hey, can you hand me this? Can you do that? Can you move? I'm asking for, and today I'm going to ask her to, if she goes into town to take one of my 20-pound propane tanks and have it filled. There's just no way I can do that. And I'm not used to that sort of sense of helplessness. So that's a little preview of advanced age, is when you can't do activities of daily living. Um, it's tough. It's tough if you can't do activities of daily living. It's Should I take my glasses off? It looks like there's a lot of glare. If you can't really do activities of daily living, um, it can be very frustrating. So for all of us, unless we die, a more kind of sudden death or a death that isn't in really advanced age, um, we many of us will get to experience that slowly being stripped of the ability to perform activities of daily living. And that's what they call a nursing home is all about. You're surrounded by people that are filling in to do those things for you, and that's got to be quite an adjustment to make. But this is a very tiny sliver preview of what that's like. Um, so I think that ties in with kind of the guilt that I'm feeling. It's like, I don't want to have to ask anybody to do these things that seem up until now have been very simple. But hopefully in about a week, I'll be able to do a lot of the things. But as far as lifting heavy objects and things, that's going to be, a 2 or 3 months away before I can do stuff like that. So that's, and the total recovery and total integration of the prosthetics into your bone and into your everything really isn't complete for almost a year. So, you've got very high functioning in far less than a year, but the complete integration, everywhere I look, is saying about it takes about a year. Um, my doctor said it's 3 months and you're going to feel like you're fully recovered, but still be careful. You don't, in that first year, you definitely do not want to have a hip injury. You don't want to have a fall. You don't want to be lifting something that's 200 pounds and have an injury. I don't want to have to do this again. Now, people have asked me, well, what about your left hip? On the x-ray, the left hip looks fine, but that doesn't mean that left hip won't need to be done someday. Maybe there's arthritis in my body and the arthritis says, okay, you got me on this side, I'm moving over to the left side. I don't know how that works or how that might work. This is the second time I've did this video today. I had to redo it because I said everything that I wanted to say and I went and played it back, and I was wearing the black t-shirt that I slept in. And, I give people a hard time for giving me crap about hair on my shirt, but even I couldn't watch that one. I'm like, if I can't tolerate it, then I can't use this video. It was just, I've got the long-haired cat, and the dog in the bed, and I'm in the bed all night, and they're climbing all over me, and I didn't even think about it. And it was pretty horrible. Pretty not horrible, very very distracting. Um, so I got a fresh T-shirt, not a new T-shirt, but I think I got most of the. I got a lint brush and got most of the hair off of it, even though it looked there were some hairs on it coming out of the fresh laundry bag. It's amazing when you have pets how hard it is to keep hair off things. Anyway, I'm trying to think of what else. I went for a little bit longer than this, I think, on the first video. I can't imagine what else I talked about. I talked about putting weight on it. I can walk without holding anything, but it's painful. And pain level is when I'm walking without any support, it's about a 5 out of 10 with that sort of pinpoint pain on the side of my leg. What else? So I'm grabbing onto things, and I do have a cane in here that I use occasionally, but usually in the small trailer. That's one big advantage of being in a very small space. No matter where you are, there's something to grab onto to transfer weight. So that's being in a small trailer is good. And I mentioned that I watch a lot of streaming video. Cheryl comes by 3 or 4 times a day. People are checking in on me. I'm doing these videos. I'm going to do the comments video probably later today, and that's certainly going to take at least an hour because I have so many comments since the last one because of the surgery stuff, and I want to acknowledge everyone that's made such nice comments, and a couple not so nice comments, believe it or not. Maybe well-intentioned, but not particularly nice comments. It's going to get hot. Yeah, where's my, here are my glasses. It's going to get hot, I think, next week. So I'm going to have to be running my generator because I'll be visible in here if this forecast holds up. Check this out. It's this week. 86 Saturday, 88 Sunday, 92 Monday, 95 Tuesday, 97 Wednesday, 92 Thursday. Then it falls high 80s and then back to the low 80s, mid 80s. It's going to be through the end of the month. It's going to be, I'm going to have to be using a lot of propane on my generator because I'm going to be using the air conditioner a lot. And that's something Cheryl can help me with. She's very familiar with how to run generators. But by next week, I think I can go outside and run my generator and stuff. But I would think, here's what I'm hoping for. Today's Wednesday. I'm hoping by Saturday, I'm able to, put on a pair of jeans and shoes and get my cane and walk out and visit my friends. That's my hope. So we'll see if that comes true. But in the meantime, I'm going to give you an update every day. I'll show you the rate of swelling every day, what it looks like, what it feels like. And hopefully you either find this interesting, right? Or some of you now or down the road might find this useful. Who knows? Anyway, reach out there, grab the camera, shut her off. I'll see you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.